Well, welcome back, and thank you for joining us. Today I'm sitting down with Gary Louie. Thanks for sitting down and chatting a bit today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Gary, you are a familiar face here at FCC. You are you're on the welcome team, and you were an elder here for a good stretch. But today we want to talk about something that you've been involved in recently, some stuff from Compassion Network.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how you got involved with some of these things we're going to talk about?
Sure. I first got started back in January of 2022 when one of our church families was donating furniture that belonged to their mother. And they were donating it to Compassion Network, and we were going to give it to some Compassion Network families. And they just happened to be Afghan refugees. And at that first move, the first one we did, we delivered a dining room table and chairs, and we just dropped it off. But later, I found out that he was a single father raising two sons because the Taliban had come to his home in Kabul after the takeover, and they knew he had worked for the U.S. government. So they killed his wife in front of their two young sons. So he is now in the United States raising his two young sons by himself. After that happened, this became more than just delivering furniture to needy families. But in getting to know people and listening to their stories, God did something in my heart that I hadn't expected, and that's what continues to motivate me to today. He came to FCC to pick up some donations that we had brought over from Belmont. And I asked if I could take a photo of him and his son for our Compassion Network newsletter, but he declined. And he said that if the Taliban had seen photos of him here in the United States, they would seek retribution against his family, who was still in Kabul. And I asked what he did in Kabul, and he said he worked at the American hospital there. And I thought, well, maybe he was a technician or something, so I asked what he did. And he said he was a maxillofacial surgeon. He repaired the faces of people who were injured by bombs and bullets over there.
Wow.
And now he's trying to find an entry-level job here in the United States to support his family, because he, like many other Afghan doctors, can't practice medicine in the United States without going back to school, getting further education, and passing the U.S. licensing exams.
Tell me a little bit about Waleed and Shabana.
They were one of the first Afghan couples that we met at our ESL class that we did here at FCC after the Taliban takeover. And we found out that they were at the Kabul airport that we all watched on television 3 years ago. And they described how they were beaten by the Taliban and shot at on their way to the airport. And they talked about the devastation they saw, the bodies being out on the airport tarmac without food and water, bathroom facilities for days. We got to know them well. We actually gave them a baby shower. He was a jewelry maker by trade. And when the Taliban found out that he worked at a government facility, they came to his business and beat him, and he almost died. But his friends had intervened and told the Taliban that he didn't have any guns that were given to him by U.S. soldiers. So he was rescued. He was able to get out of Afghanistan, and he's actually an expert at fixing Rolex watches. So if you or any of your friends have Rolex watches that need servicing, I've got a guy for you.
Wow. There's so many folks in our community who have had to sacrifice so much and lost so much just to make it here. And then it sounds like things haven't improved beyond their safety. It sounds like there's still a lot of needs to be met.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've been able to do is it was started as a diaper drive.
Yes.
But now we're calling the Everything Family event.
Yes.
To try to meet some of those needs. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it started off providing diapers to Compassion Network clients who had young children who needed diapers. And then it evolved into cribs and car seats and strollers, and then into toys, kids' toys. In August of 2024, my aunt passed away, and I was tasked with the job of clearing out her condo at her senior facility. And I brought over 40 bags of clothing and 8 huge moving boxes full of kitchenware and housewares to Fremont to FCC, because we thought, well, maybe we could hand this out at the diaper drive. She also had a lot of really beautiful Chinese furniture that we were able to donate to Afghan families. So our supplemental diaper program, which we used to call the SDP, has evolved into the EFE, the Everything Family event. And we provide clothing, housewares, kitchenwares, blankets, sheets, mattresses, and just about everything for the home.
Wow. So we have all this furniture and kitchen stuff and all of this here, right? How do we get it to people? A lot of the community has trouble with transportation.
Right.
How do they benefit from this?
Well, that's where kind of our moving ministry came in. Just as a matter of history, in 2022, that first year we did 79 deliveries of housewares, furniture, and so forth. Wow. In 2023, we did 156. 24, we did 193.
Wow.
And so far in 2025, the first month to the end of January, we did 30. And in the first week and a half of February, I think we did 16 or 18.
Wow.
And we did all of this with less than 10 people in 4 vehicles. And most of it was done with 6 or 7 of us in 3 vehicles.
Wow.
So we've been pretty busy over the past year.
So what's that like to be delivering the furniture? I know you had a story about that.
As meaningful and important as it is in providing these families with furniture and other household needs for their new apartments, I think the most important aspect of what we do is hearing their stories, building relationships and friendships with them, and living out the love and the life and message of Jesus to the people we meet. So it's not just what we do as followers of Jesus, it's who we are as we go out in the community to represent Him to the people that we meet every day. So in a way, I'd like to keep doing this by myself, but this is something that I need to share with other people too, to be able to share that joy and experience with other people. And there's a lot of needs out there. The 3 primary needs that we see in the Afghan community are affordable vehicles, cars, affordable housing, and employment. And so much of that is needed for these Afghan families. So if anyone here at FCC, or of people that might have knowledge in those areas or contacts, please talk to me or Ruth, and we can try to meet other needs too. They have so many different things that they need in getting settled into their new lives here in the United States. For us, what we would need now, we need muscle, but we also need large vehicles, vans, box trucks, pickup trucks, to help transport some of the larger pieces of furniture. So that's something that we as an FCC family, and hopefully people we know, might be able to come alongside them and help us.
Something that I often hear in our church is like, oh, well, that's Gary and that's Ruth, and they're the superstar volunteers that do this, and you guys are superstars. But it's we also want to encourage folks that they can get involved, and so I kind of wanted to ask, what was it that helped you take that step, to take these steps to say, like, well, yeah, I can move furniture, I can donate some things, I can get involved. What was kind of that change for you from not being involved to then getting involved?
It's the people, the relationships. It's one thing just to do something like do a service project, but when you get to know the people, when you, as I mentioned, you hear their stories and get involved in their lives, it becomes more than just the job of the activity you do. It's relationships you build, hearing their stories, hearing their pain, the challenges they went through. And I think God does something in a person's heart when we, as followers of Jesus, go out and meet the people, because that's what it's all about. It's just not doing things. It's just not a service project. It's the relationships. It's the eternal things that you build with people.
Well, thank you for sitting down and sharing these stories and sharing a bit more about how folks can get involved. If you at home would like to hear more about the things that we're doing here at FCC and more ways that you can get involved, we have some more content for you right here.